Hi, my name is Kayla Hoyt. Today I will be talking about environmental ethical theories with my husband Colton. Do I have your consent to record this conversation today?
You have my consent.
All right, so the first question I want to ask you may seem plain and simple, but it goes into a lot more detail and I will explain further. But my question is, why do you think protecting and saving the planet is a good thing?
To me, so future generations can have it too. Why do we need to destroy something so beautiful?
Yeah, I agree with you. And I feel like this is a super common answer when asked, like, why should we protect the planet? A lot of people say for future generations. I would like to go in and explain some of the main positions of environmental ethics, and we can see maybe like where you fit in or what position best describes your view. To start off, we have anthropocentrism or being an anthropocentrist, which is someone who values nature only for its contributions to human welfare. It's a selfish look on nature, a very human centered ethical stance. When talking about anthropocentrism, there are two versions. We have the strong or the weak anthropocentrism. With strong anthropocentrism, nature is only valued for its economic worth and nothing else. It's just a resource with no regard to the future, the ecosystem, basically no regard for the environment whatsoever. And as for weak anthropocentrism, which is also known as enlightened anthropocentrism, nature is valued for things such as its aesthetic, recreational, educational, historical, scientific, and spiritual values now and in the future. It is still valued for human contribution though. So for example, saying we should save the planet for like our future generations can and is looked at as weak anthropocentric viewpoint. Weak anthropocentrism, it's a more respectful and less destructive view than strong anthropocentrism, but it's still considered anthropocentrism. And then we have a non anthropocentrist, and this is someone who values nature, say for like their own, for its own sake, like regardless of the benefits to humans might receive. So they appreciate nature for what it is. And there are numerous types of theories for non anthropocentrism. The first one we're going to talk about is zoocentrism, which is an animal centered ethic, which focuses on non human animals and the fact that we must not harm them. Within this theory of zoocentrism, there are two approaches. We have animal liberation, or known as animal welfare, and then we have animal rights. And for animal welfare, we have Peter Singer, who is one of the most well known philosophers when it comes to animal welfare. His main argument is that you have to have sentience to matter ethically. And then sentience is having a conscience or being able to experience pleasure and pain. He argues that non-human animals are like a sentient being needs to be considered if your actions will affect that being. And then he also rejects the idea of speciesism. He does not believe the human species are superior to other beings. Do you think you agree with Singer? Do you think that all sentient beings should be considered?
Yeah, I believe that animals should be considered before causing harm to them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he has a good standpoint and makes a good argument. Now we can discuss animal rights, and we have Tom Regan, who is a prominent philosopher when it comes to animal rights. He rejects Singer's views. He argues that animals, especially mammals, have like a higher conscience and could be described as having like an identity. He argues that they deserve moral and legal rights, and we need to respect them. So, learning a little about Tom Regan now, do you think you would side more with Peter Singer or do you think Tom Regan?
I think I would side more with Peter Singer. My views seem to align a little better with his arguments on animal welfare versus animal rights. I don't think non human animals should have legal rights, but they should definitely be considered at least.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I would side more with Peter Singer. I feel like my views align a little more with him. I think when it comes to animals that we should consider them as beings and then think about before like, causing harm or what harm could do to them. I think they should be considered more, but I do not think they should have legal rights like Tom Regan believes. Um Now, the next non anthropocentric view is biocentrism, which is like a life centered ethics. It focuses on individual organisms, including plants and trees. So there's like a moral consideration for sentient and non sentient beings. And then we have ecocentrism, which is an ecologically centered ethical theory. It kind of focuses on like biological wholes, like populations, species, ecosystems, bioregions, and like the biosphere. So it's far less individualistic than biocentrism. So now that we have like discussed some of the environmental ethical theories, do you think that you fit into one the most, or do you think you can adapt the views of a few of the theories? Where do you think you stand?
I would say that I could see myself aligning with multiple views that are both weak anthropocentric and non anthropocentric.
I agree with you. I think my views don't just fit into one category. I've always had the viewpoint of we should better the planet for our future, and I had no idea that would be considered an anthropocentric view, but it makes sense because it is like human oriented. I want it to be better for humans, but I also agree with non anthropocentric people, um, like their values, because I think our planet it has value within itself, and even without benefits to humans, I think it's something we should protect, especially since we are the ones destroying it. I think there's a lot we need to do to fix it. Lastly, do you feel humans should do you think they should be obligated to care for the environment?
Oh, most definitely. We are harvesting its resources for our own benefits, and it's where we live, so we should all fix what we have to destroy or what we have destroyed.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. It's kind of like what we talked about before, that we're benefiting from it, so we should be the ones to fix it. And I feel like everyone should feel morally obligated to fix our planet, and we shouldn't look at the planet as something that's just to benefit humans, because we will destroy it much faster than the rate it is going now. I think having better morals could help like fix it, and like being more educated in environmental ethics could help people understand why we need to like fix the environment or help the environment. But I'll also understand wanting to have a clean environment for our future generations. Thank you.